AAU basketball is terrible for players, but it's also the greatest thing for players. Let me explain. AAU basketball has turned into something that I feel like no one would have expected. Back in the early 2000s, 90s, AAU was such a small, tight-knit thing. It's like you had one or two AAU teams in a big city. Nowadays, you got one or two teams every block, it seems like. So it's like there's so many players playing AAU and travel basketball now that it's so watered down. And when it comes down to it, parents don't know what team that their kid should play on. They don't know what actually works, what doesn't. And that's what makes AAU so crazy right now. It's so tough for parents to find the right information. So I want to give you guys, at least from my perspective, what parents should be doing with AAU, how AAU kind of works, and what team your child should play on. So AAU basketball, again, there's different levels to it. I like to divide it into 3 different levels. The first level is gonna be your local level. This is where you're gonna be playing teams that are just local, you know what I mean, within 30, 45 minutes of where you live. You're gonna be playing a lot of the same teams all the time, but you're gonna get a lot of experience with that. So that's local. Then there's gonna be semi-local travel. This is where you're gonna be playing maybe teams from out of town a little bit. Maybe you travel state, go across state lines. Maybe you are going to be playing a little bit higher level competition, depending, or you're just going to be playing the same level of competition just away. But in general, there is that travel level. And then the last level is going to be your circuit teams. This is where, and again, I'm not even talking about the second division circuit teams. Some of those are going to be more like the mid-level, but the top level circuit teams, this is where you're playing on a circuit like Nike UIBL, the Adidas one, Under Armour one. This is where you're going to be sponsored. It's where you're not going to have to come out of pocket for a lot of things. And typically, if you're on that top level, you're going to be playing the best competition. Like when it comes down to it, if you think about high school basketball, let's say it's 17 and under EYBL, those top 20 teams or whatever, the Peach Jam, the best one, that's where you're going to be essentially playing like the NBA for your age level. So in the United States. So anyways, those are the 3 levels of AAU. When it comes down to it, all of them have benefits, they have their pros and they have their cons. For instance, when it comes to that local level, you're gonna be playing just locally. You're not gonna be spending money on hotels, flights, that sort of thing. So you're gonna be able to get a lot of game reps, game experience, and it's gonna be great. The second thing, the mid-level is cool because you might be able to travel a little bit. It's probably gonna cost you, but you're gonna be able to travel. You're gonna play different teams from different states, different cities, and you're gonna be able to see a little bit more of where you can stack up against the competition. Sometimes a mid-level non-sponsored team is gonna play a sponsored team. So you might be able to play teams like that and play really good competition. And then obviously the circuit level, you're gonna be playing the best competition, which is gonna be amazing. But also, if you're a fringe level player, it's kind of tough for you to get a lot of minutes. So really, when it comes down to it, if you wanna pick an AAU team to play on, here's my 2 biggest criteria that you have to be able to understand. Number 1, is you have to play at the highest level that you possibly can. You're not gonna typically get better if you're not playing competition that's better. So you wanna play at the highest level that you possibly can, where you're gonna be able to compete with players, see yourself get better, and we'll talk about exposure later, but potentially get exposure from college coaches. But also, you have to play at that highest level that you can play at, where you're also going to get minutes. Because if you're not playing, if you're on a circuit team and you're not playing in a tournament, none of these D1 coaches are gonna hit you up. None of these, coaches are gonna say, there might be some exceptions. Some of these circuit teams are crazy and guys have really, really good reputations from high school basketball. But in general, if you're playing on a circuit team and you're not getting any minutes, you're not gonna get as much recognition. So those are the 2 things that you have to balance if you wanna play AAU. You have to play at the highest level that you possibly can while also playing a lot, because that's where you're going to get the experience, because that's what AAU is really about to me. It's about gaining experience on the court where you're going to know how to make better decisions. You're going to play different teams. You're going to play against different systems every single game. So you're going to be able to see how you can be more aggressive. You're going to be able to improve, because when it comes down to it, basketball is all decision making. If you're making X amount of decisions a game, if you play a ton of games in the summer, you're gonna get a lot better, especially if you get minutes. So make sure that you guys are gaining experience. Now, when it comes to exposure, don't expect anything from AAU. I will say that for most players, okay? There's some players who are really, really good, who are going to have that reputation that precedes them. They already are scoring a ton in their high school games, or they're getting a lot of recognition for winning state championships in their high school games. So when they go to AAU, they're already gonna have that reputation. And then from there, college coaches are gonna be, okay, we already know they have a base of work. If you don't have that, if you're a developing player, if you play JV, if you're, playing varsity but not getting a lot of minutes, you know what I mean? Don't expect college coaches to be there. You know what I mean? There's a trainer that I know who basically said, and again, I don't necessarily totally agree with this, but AAU tournaments are essentially just expensive vacations, okay? There's a lot of players out there who are spending a ton of money on AAU, traveling, flying Vegas, flying here, flying there, and they're not getting any real exposure from it. So what are you kind of getting from it? You're getting experience though. So make sure you take advantage, you're playing a lot, you're getting that experience, because that's what's going to help you in the long run. Now, there are obviously other strategies to get college coaches to get to your games. We can talk about that in another video. But like I said, in general, if you want to play AAU, these two criteria, you have to be finding the highest level of competition that you can play at, where you'll also get a lot of minutes. Make sure you guys leave a comment below if you guys enjoyed that video. If you have any thoughts, questions, concerns, please reach out to me. You can DM me at JQ Basketball Training on Instagram, and we'll see you guys in the next video.